in this article, I'm going to link to it because it was really good. You mentioned one of the experiments you started was focused on 18 to 23-year-olds. And I think in the article you even mentioned that was a group that hadn't really been approached or been a focus before. Can you walk us through why you picked that age demographic and a little into that experiment?
It wasn't only that I just picked that age. During the interviews, one thing that I learned was that we had FUDY had a extremely broad approach to target audiences. The usual everyone eats food, so everyone's our customer type of situation. Obviously, I think we're more into marketing. We know that this doesn't fly. Not everyone can be our customers. You have to make some choices in there. So actually, my approach was to take some kind of a segment, define it as well as I can, and then focus on that. And in that context and in that campaign that we had planned, it made sense to focus on that segment. While I was pitching that we should do that, there was also some backlash about it. Things like that maybe they're too young, they don't have the money to buy, and that shouldn't be a priority audience, things like that. But I think with the campaign, we proved that this audience still buys a lot, and it's worth to focus on them as one of the niche audience that we focus on.
How do you go from broad to narrow? So you choose this demographic that has to be this segment that happens to be first defined by age, 18 to 23-year-olds. So age is sort of like the first index of what you're looking at. And then, so what follows in terms of your marketing? Is it the language that you're using? Is it the content that you're sharing? Is it the channel itself and the surface area, that is where you expect to find that audience? What's that process of going from speak to everyone loves food, to choosing a specific slice or a specific form of identity or segment, and then targeting and focusing there? What does that look like?
Mm-hmm. I think in this case, it also depended on the idea that we had for the campaign. So it didn't work from one way to approach it is take audience, think what could be their unique selling point for them, and then focus on that and find a creative idea on top of that. So in our case, we already had idea of how to collaborate with other brands and what brands. And then I started to think who would this be for, and then mix this together. So my hypothesis was that younger audience orders more fast food. And at that point, we had a lot of that supply. We had a lot of restaurants that would be considered fast food. So it made, in that context, it made sense to focus on it. And then we added things on top of that. So it actually came from the other way around. So we had the idea, then we found who the customer segment is, and things just matched in that sense.